Cheers. Ooh. Ooh. Should we film cuckoo? Oh, it's recording.
Yeah, it's still recording.
Cuckoo.
Oh, cuckoo.
Hey guys, we're the Vegan Newbie. I'm Stephanie and this is Simon.
And today we're going to be talking about alcohol.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that some alcohol is actually not vegan. So we're going to be talking about what makes alcohol vegan and what makes it not vegan and what to look out for. So if you're interested, then keep watching.
Alright, so welcome back everyone. First of all, we want to say that everything on the table here is vegan. And most alcohols are vegan. It's only when there are specific products like honey or cream and milks that are in the alcohol that makes them non-vegan. And also, the ingredient to watch out for is non-vegan thinnings. And we're going to get into what thinnings are a little bit later in the video.
Yeah. So my favorite drink of all time was actually a spicy Canadian Caesar, but unfortunately, as it turns out, it's not vegan because it's made of clam juice and anchovies, which, while I say it out loud now, sounds really gross, but I loved it. But so yes, I found an alternative way to make it. I'm actually going to show you guys how to do that really quick right now, if you want to stay tuned. So this is everything that I use to make my vegan spicy Caesars. In your typical Caesar, the juice is clamato juice, which is clam-based. And also, the Worcestershire sauce that's used is actually made of anchovies, so that's obviously not vegan. So what I'm doing here is just replacing the clamato juice with the garden cocktail, and I'm also replacing the typical Worcestershire sauce with the vegan gluten-free version, which you can find in natural food stores. So essentially, I guess I'm kind of making a seasoned spicy Bloody Mary. I've never actually had an official Bloody Mary because I'm in Canada and typically we drink Caesars here. But yeah, it's pretty delicious, so can't complain.
So when I first became vegan, I didn't even consider alcoholic beverages to be not vegan. Like, it was a non-issue to me. It wasn't until Steph and I were trying to buy wine where Steph's like, not all wines are vegan. And I was like, what? You know, why you gotta make things so complicated? Yeah. So yeah, it turns out some alcohols aren't vegan.
Yeah, so essentially what makes it non-vegan would be the way that it's distilled and filtered, and they use spinnings during that process. I have notes in front of me here that I'm just going to do myself a favor and read off of them because some of the stuff is a bit complicated, but we did research before this, so that's why. So essentially, thinnings are the substances added at the end of the brewing process of wine and beer to remove organic compounds. And it also improves the clarity or adjusts the taste. It's obviously also used in liquors and stuff.
So it's kind of like to filter stuff out at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And thinnings remove sulfides, proteins, polyphenols, benzenoids, and even copper ions. Some thinnings are vegan and some are not.
Yeah, so what are thinnings made out of? So traditionally, thinnings were things like egg whites, blood, milk, isinglass, which is kind of weird. Isinglass is actually comes from the swim bladders of fish.
Which is gross.
And then Irish moss. So out of all of those, the only vegan one is Irish moss. And that one's actually used by a lot of breweries today anyways. Non-traditionally, so recently, they've been using stuff like, let's see here, what do they have here? So traditionally they have stuff like gelatin, non-vegan, casein, not vegan, albumin, not vegan, which albumin is pretty much just dried blood protein. And the vegan ones, they use stuff like pectinase, but pectinase can also come from non-vegan sources, so that one's a bit tricky. Copper sulfate, activated carbon. Activated carbon is the stuff that most of our water treatment plants use to filtrate our water. And carrageenan, which comes from seaweed. So those are the vegan ones.
Yeah, and you know, a great website that we've been using lately to find out what alcohols are vegan is called Barnivore. So it's barnivore.com. I'll put a link down below for you guys to check that out. But it's a really cool sort of repertoire of all the alcohols that you can think of, really. You just type in the name of what you want to check, and then if somebody already did the research, they put it in that website, and it'll say if it's vegan or not. So not all alcohols are there, but there's so many on there, and it's really, really helpful. So we've been using that a lot.
So one of the things that's, you know, vegans, when it comes to alcohol, most of the stuff is vegan. So when it comes to beer, and thank God for me because I love beer, popular beer brands, especially around here, they're all vegan. You know, these ones here. So Sapporo, Corona, Pabst, Molson Canadian, Molson X, Stella, Heineken, Coors, Budweiser, Keith's, they're all vegan. So you don't have to worry about those. To find a non-vegan beer, you really kind of have to go out of your way. So there's stuff like Guinness, which uses that isinglass, that swim bladder thing to filtrate their products. There's Red Stripe, Newcastle is also a non-vegan one. So they're all ones that, like, they're not really, you know, you don't really consider those as popular ones. But yeah, like I said, for beer, most of them are vegan, but it's always important to check on certain websites because a lot of these, you know, you won't see it in the ingredients because during the filtration process, although a lot of the fittings are supposed to be taken out, they can still be in there and they're still used, so we gotta avoid those. Yeah,
a lot of liquors, or most liquors, are actually vegan, except for a select few. So really starting off with Disaronno, which I just poured, is vegan.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. My little cute barmaid.
Ooh. So most liquors are actually vegan, except for those that are labeled with honey or milk. Sometimes flavored options might not be vegan as well. Like for example, vodka is generally vegan, but some of the flavored options are not. So it's always good to sort of look into that first before purchasing it. So same thing with tequila. Tequila is generally vegan, except for like the, what is it called? Tequila Rose,
yeah,
where it's like a cream base, so that's not vegan. Rum is vegan for the most part as well, except for some of the creams. They might have like cream versions. Whiskey as well, except for honeyed whiskey, like Honey Jack or whatever. Gin should be vegan for the most part. Brandy, cognac, amaretto or Disaronno, Cointreau. Surprisingly, creme de cacao is vegan generally, except for some of their special versions, but just do your research on that as well. Creme de menthe as well, even though it says creme in the title, it's vegan actually, which is great. Goldschlager is vegan, Grand Marnier should be vegan, Jaeger is vegan as well for the most part. Surprisingly, Kahlua actually is vegan, which we totally didn't think it was because it's like a, you know, like a creamy type alcohol, but that's awesome. So, you know, Kahlua is vegan. The only ones that are not are actually the ready-to-drink versions, like the mudslides and the White Russian mixed drinks that you can buy, well, ready-made. Yeah, there's milk in there, exactly. So Sambuca as well should be vegan. Schnapps is vegan for the most part, except for the really popular brand that I actually used to drink, so I'll have to look for an alternative. It's the Dr. McGillicuddy's schnapps, so that one's not vegan because of the findings that they use. Also, Tia Maria is surprisingly vegan as well. Bailey's is not vegan, but they do carry an almond milk version of the Bailey's, which is really cool. We'll have to try that out. And Triple Sec, for the most part, is vegan as well.
So yeah, like, you know, if if you do want to go the vegan route, instead of getting Bailey's, just get Kahlua. That's pretty much the only real thing that wasn't vegan.
Yeah, exactly, which is really cool. Wines, on the other hand, are really tricky. It's really too bad that alcohol companies are not, you know, required to write on their label if they used animal products in their finnings, but technically because it's not an ingredient in the final product, they don't have to. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to find wines. There's actually a lot of white wines that are not vegan. I think we're mostly going to be using the Barnivore website for wines, I think, because we're big wine drinkers. We don't drink much white wine, so that's good, but we did find a couple favorites for red wines that are vegan, and that is the Beaujolais wine right here, and also the Australian Shiraz Yellowtail that we have right here. So that's kind of our go-to if we didn't have time to do research before going to the liquor store. And they're really tasty, so you know, maybe just find yourself like a few favorites that you can, like popular favorites in your area that restaurants might carry. That way you're sort of prepared when you go to the restaurant and you can order something there.
Yeah, because that's the thing about wine. I mean, there are so many different wine brands, and people are coming out with new wine brands all the time, and it's kind of like a, you know, like a solo kind of basis. Like every different wine, they might use different finnings, so you really don't know. So, as vegans, we can clearly get drunk just as well as everybody else.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Whew. All right, so if you're not sure about alcohol, check the Barnivore website. Contact the company yourself to get some information, or just stick to something that you already know is vegan.
Yeah, and honestly, if your beverage of choice is on this table, then you can proudly go up to your friends and family and say, my favorite alcoholic drink is a vegan drink.
There you go. So cheers to vegan alcohol. We hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. We'd really appreciate that. And we post videos every Tuesday. So stay tuned until next Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a great evening. Cheers.